One of the things that is essential to do here as well, when your visa is approved, you get something called a NIA, an NIE number, and that is basically like your social security number. And that gives you, your NIA is tied to your visa, so it's like what kind of visa you have, what you're allowed to do. So like for our visas, we're allowed to work, and so it will say on our card that like it's called a TIE card, so the NIA number goes on a TIE card, and our card will say like basically in Spanish like the right to work. So that's something you have to set up at the Ayuntamiento, the city hall. Register yourselves with the city hall, and that's called a padrimiento or padrón. And so the padrón here in Valencia, they release appointments like every Thursday, and you sign up, and then you just go in, you get your ticket number. And it's always good to have a previous appointment because you get seen faster. And then you just have to bring your documentation, like what's most important is like your passport, your NIA or your TIE card if you have it, but usually takes several months to get that. So it's usually a passport when you're first arriving, and then any other documentation. So like if you're trying to padrón your child, you need to have both parents present or fill in the form that allows you, like for me, in my case, I would have to probably have my husband sign the form that said, I'm allowed to padrón our son to be a Spanish resident. You submit all your documentation. So like I have friends who brought like just backup documentations, birth certificates for their kids, just to be fair, or just to be cohesive, as well as, are you paying bills? Sometimes they ask for, the deposit, like, transaction records to make sure you're paying who you say you're paying, and it's not some kind of scam. So the money's going to the person you say it's going to, and you're paying the person you say you're paying, and they're receiving it, and, because there's taxes that are involved with all of this stuff. So they make sure that it's legit. So they might ask you for bank statements or something like that, or just transfer documents or whatever. Appointments can be hard to get depending on what you're trying to sign up for. So whether it's a NIA card, the TIE, or any other government thing, they can be very hard. They go really quickly. Just something to consider as you navigate the system. And one of the things like I've always really loved about Valencia is people tend to be really helpful here as long as you are appreciating the culture and you're being respectful. It's one of the things I love the most about living in Spain is this community and their culture and their dedication to their traditions. I've talked about it a lot, how much I love like the fallas and falleras and the whole tradition of burning it down. And it's gotten a little out of hand from a sustainability perspective, but that's a different podcast for a different day. But it's also just, maintaining that legacy of roots and, knowing that paellas from here and all the different rices. Like I've never seen so many different types of rice until I lived here. And, going into the grocery store for the first time and seeing like oh my God, I can't say it.